TV, advancing kingdom lifestyle.
Yes, welcome to Man Unveiled. This is Man Unveiled Wednesday, where we empower men. On Man Unveiled, we are always ready to mentor and help the man become the best version of himself. In here, we don't fight men, we empower men. We don't tell them what they are not doing, we tell them what they should do and how they should do it, because we never like assuming that they know. On Man Unveiled tonight, we are having a very wonderful topic. I know you'll enjoy it because we are talking about mentoring the boy child. And how do we raise a responsible generation? I'm your host, Joe Wisdom. And as always, keep saying it takes a man to get the best out of another man. I'm joined tonight by the legendary Pastor Wamae, all the way from the Liberty Center, Gatundu town. For this man, Gatundu atmosphere knows him, possibly by name, and I know people from Gatundu are watching. I know the battalion from Gatundu Town Liberty Center are around, so I'll do justice and we'll do justice to this topic. Pastor Wamae, you can introduce yourself. It's always a pleasure having you around.
Yes, sir.
You're a great man, sir.
Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate the invite. Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Welcome this evening. My name is William Wamae. I am the lead pastor at Redeemed Gospel Church in Gatundu Town. I'm happy to be here once again. I give a shout out to my wife, Pastor Elizabeth, and my children, and the Liberty family in Gatundu, and Ngenda Pastors Forum, and my family members, the Nyoros and the Goyas. A shout out to all of you, and my spiritual father, Apostle Gaya. Yeah, and the Redeemed Gospel Church Ruru family. We welcome you to the show. The Lord bless you.
Wow, great. That is Pastor Wamae. A
Yes.
great blessing to this show. Pastor Wamae, if I have never told you,
Yes.
there are people who would not love to miss the show when you're around.
Oh,
Yeah.
praise the Lord.
And they told me that their loyalty is not transferable.
Oh, God bless them.
They don't even, anytime Pastor Wamae is coming, they will be there. So you are blessing people out there.
Praise the Lord.
Yes, they say that they like the way you speak.
Yeah.
I think I should give them your number
Yes.
to reach out.
My M-Pesa number.
Your M-Pesa number for that. Thank you so much. We are also joined by Mr. Robert, the chairman himself, the chairman Happy Life, Happy Church, Roiro, the Dream Center. I've interacted with this man and I can tell you he is a man of substance. And he is also involved in so many things. He is passionate about mentorship, and I think that is what drew me to him. Mr. Robert, karibu sana.
Thank you, sir.
He is also a family man, but he'll tell us more about himself.
Yeah.
This is your camera.
Good. Thank you for having me here. I really appreciate. My name is Robert Mwangi, a family man, a father and a husband to one wife, Joyce, and 3 children. I really appreciate the Lord. And I thank God that Joe Wisdom also we work together. We interact a lot, and I appreciate the same desire of seeing the boy child lifted up from where they are and seeing a better future for them. And that is the main purpose of the show, Man Unveiled. I want to say hi to my family. Part of my family is here, my wife and my daughter are around. Thank you for coming with me. Thank you for my other part of the family at home, but also my pastor, Reverend Hosea, of Happy Church International Reiru, and the wife, Pastor Zipporah, and the entire Happy Church family. I love you people, and I appreciate your support. Thank you.
Wow, thank you. I keep telling, and Happy Church, Roiro, the Dream Center. You should know that I am member number 003 after the pastor and Pastor Zipporah. I am the next member there, so please. Anytime you see me there, just know I have come home. And we want to appreciate Reverend Hosea for the great work you are doing. Thank you, sir. And I keep saying this.
Yeah.
Anybody who is around Roiro, sasa unatafuta kanisa wapi?
Na kanisa iko hapo.
Kanisa tu iko hapo. Yes, so Pastor Hosea, God bless you so much. Amen. Now, tonight is a wonderful night, Pastor Wamae, because you are looking at the boy child. And we know this conversation has been there for some time now. Thank God we have such a discussion. I hosted ladies last show and last episode, and we were looking at the mama's boy. And Pastor, one of the ladies, say that sometimes we are so harsh to our boys. Sometimes we give them a beating, like the one that is needed in Ukraine war. But someone would say, I'm disciplining my son. But before we come to disciplining, Pastor Wamae, what do you think? What challenges do we have with today's boy child as compared to the yesteryears when we were growing up?
The first one is, I think, lack of modeling, and I'm avoiding to use the word mentorship because I have a different approach on that. When we were growing up, our mothers really didn't have a say. The father is used to say everything.
The father was the Alpha and Omega.
The Alpha and the Omega.
Yes.
But now the boy today is facing a different challenge, because in the olden times, not necessarily, my mother was a nurse, now she's retired. But mothers usually used to be at home, and all the duties at home were really left to them. That was their work, and to raise the children. The father would go out there to work. But now today, you have the girl child so empowered, so educated, so exposed, so that now the boy child, in his rough life,
yes,
because generally from the beginning, from the book of Genesis, the boy child has always been under threat. Always. Because once you bring the man down, there is no nation.
You brought the whole society down.
You bring the whole society down, because everything is built up on the man. I mean, the Bible says the woman was created for the man, not the man for the woman.
Okay.
So, I mean, everything holds up in the man. It is the man who carries the seed. So generations come after because of the man. So the minute you target the man, you stop. In the book of Malachi, the Bible says, why did God bring them together? That they may raise for him a godly seed.
A godly offspring, yes.
So you see, the minute you deal with the man, you corrupt him, you get him out of church, you mess his life, you get him in the world out there. And that becomes a source of ideologies. Then what happens is that you will have a generation that is corrupted coming out of him, because you only produce after your kind.
That's true.
So now today we have a boy who is challenged, because he has grown up, and everyone expects he should know how to behave as a boy. Even at some point the mother expects the boy to protect her.
Yeah, it happens. You find a mama walking on the road.
Yes.
And with a 7-year-old boy.
Yes.
And you hear her say, nikiwa na huyu hakuna mtu anaweza niguza.
Exactly.
And that boy feels like,
yes.
And that's dangerous.
Yes. And now the problem
and he begins to harden.
Yes. And the problem is, when the challenge is really, he's faced with the real challenge of the danger that the mother is talking about. He realizes he can't handle it. He's not of age to handle it. And so, first of all, we have an overburdening of the boy child.
Okay.
Then we have an abandoning of the boy child. I mean, nobody is paying attention. And we don't have, it's not that people, Mrs. Gachagua was having a program to empower boy child. And now people are beginning to realize it's becoming a serious disaster because the boy child is abandoned. But we have, so from kutoka kuwa mdogo, there is just an abandonment, even in school. If a girl does well, it's not a matter of gender, that one is brighter than the other. But you're told, unashindwaje na msichana?
I agree. That happens. That happens.
So you are attacked from every corner. So today's boy is under a lot of threat. And you do not know, like the society also expects too much from you. And you are probably not empowered with enough resources to make you become what you need to become. But for the girl child, everyone, like today, if somebody, there was a war out here, or somebody was found beating a girl, all the men would gather up to beat that man. But if you found a guy being beaten there, utasema wakwenda hiyo ni shughuli yao. Nobody cares.
I agree.
Even when you look at the news yesterday, how many girls died in the day before yesterday?
Yeah.
It's the boys.
Yeah, boys. That's
So I mean, we are under threat, and that has happened because once Satan manages to bring down the boy child, you have destroyed generations to come.
Thank you, and that sets the pace for this conversation, Pastor Wamae, because we want to look at maybe Mr. Robert can help us. What happened? What are those things that happened to you when you are growing up as a young man that made you, and you feel that this is what made me the man that I am? Maybe as compared to what is happening right now. And I know maybe, I don't know whether maybe, okay, you look like you are brought up around here, but you'll tell us whether is there a village somewhere, possibly where you are modeled?
Apostle, to your surprise, I am brought up in the village.
All right.
I schooled in a primary day school, high school, day school. I used to walk like 2 to 3 kilometers to school. Come back for lunch. At times you miss lunch and all these things. I've grown up our country. That one I can tell you.
Yeah.
But one of the things is that, as Pastor has said, there is an over expectation of the boy child by the society. If something happens, you're told, wewe ni mwanaume. You don't cry. You don't show your weakness. So the boy grows up a bit hardened or hardening himself so that he does not portray a weakness as the society looks at him as one person who is very strong. In the real sense, we have not been able, we who have been maybe parenting or maybe people in the position of guiding them, giving them exactly as Pastor has mentioned, a role model. Can they look up to somebody and say, I desire to grow in this way? And are we can somebody emulate us who are over them and they say, I would desire to be like this? Because the Bible says in Psalm 34:11 that can you have someone who can call the children, come unto me, listen, I want to teach you the ways of God. Even in parenting, can you tell a young boy, come to me, I want to tell you this way is not right, this way is better, this way is going to get you the results that you anticipate. Looking at what we've been going through, for example, you find yourself in a situation that you need to make your decisions because your father told you, you are a man, even as you're saying at the age of 7. That boy grows knowing that he is, and you know there's those things that a son and like a father are the same thing.
Yes.
So the boy grows up knowing that I can even command my mom around. And he comes home and asks, Mom, is there food? He wants to be lazy, he doesn't want to work because we instilled a statement in him that he can command the same way the father commands, and that like he has the same rights or privileges as the other man, even if he's not responsible enough. So I think we need to bring ourselves back to the root and reason together. Some of these young men, they have no audience. When they come to church, maybe we group them together as the youth and we don't care of their needs. And that brings me to mind a story that a young boy was reciting a poem. And he was asking, you call the girls, you give them pads, you give them, but the boy child, even a pencil, even a pair of socks. So this boy gets hurt from. So some of the things that they're even doing now is that they are reacting because there's too much pressure and they are trying to release themselves. At times they don't know how. This way you find that the boy child could easily get into alcohol. At times he feels he was not loved. And he gets maybe a lady elder than him says, I love you, young man. That word love that was not showed at home or maybe not experienced, he feels the world has come to what I was expecting. And you're not able to. So we need to get them before. We talk to them, show them the way, listen to them. You mentioned something about these young men who are dying. Trust me, these young men have a lot of wisdom. They have a lot of knowledge. You've had one of them share the way they can do a CV within 30 seconds, which it took us even like 2 months consulting. But now this knowledge, how do we tame it? How do we tame the strength,
The
in
strength,
this, in
yes.
this young, the capability,
The energy that they have,
energy,
yes.
and it becomes beneficial both to the society
Yes.
and even to the family.
Wow.
So I think it is us now. We need to go back, look for dialogue. I thank God for Pastor Wamae
Yeah.
and other men that are trying
Yeah.
to bring these young men together. Speak to them, one boy at a time, one boy at a time, and trust me, things are going to be different. It is workable.
Wow, powerful,
Wow.
powerful, Bwana Robert.
Thank
Because
God.
you know the things that you're saying, I can relate because when you talk about even people going to school, just the other day, in fact, this last weekend, I was somewhere in one of the girls' schools around town, and we had a weekend charity there, and they had an initiative. They call it Girl to Girl, and you find many people, many organizations bringing, you know, donations
Yeah.
to the girls. The last time I went to a boys' school, I don't think anybody came to bring anything. So it's like every boy for himself and God for us all,
But the girl,
you know. But there's girl to girl. Pastor Mai, do you feel there's a gap, and especially to us men, because ladies, girls, women are able to take care of, and they are able to influence us to take care of the girls. A mother will influence you as the father to go visit the girl in school. But when is the time of the boy, huyo atajisoto, huyo hakuagi na maneno mingi. Are we hurting the boy by assuming that they are strong? What do you think is the disconnect?
Yes, me, I think we are. Okay, naturally, the way we are wired as men, we are occupational. So we tend to think about work and achieving this and achieving that. And so that consumes our mind. So we are not relational per se in nature. We are not too much inclined to being relational. But especially when it comes to men, even when we sit with you, Apostle, we'll talk discussions about things we want to do. It's very hard for me to sit down with you and ask you, how are you feeling?
In fact, it will look awkward.
It will look awkward.
Yes.
So as we talk about when are we doing the next show?
Yes.
What are we do? What event? How are we going to handle this event? Which is the latest car? I mean, we think that way.
We think in terms of projects.
Yes, projects. But now women think about relationships. They will talk about how are you feeling. Is your mother okay? How is your brother?
How big are your children?
How big are your children? Relational issues. Sisi, gari yangu iliharibika, nyumba yangu ni kama inabomoka. I mean,
huyo jamaa sitawahi gari tena.
Those are our discussions. And so now when it comes to parenting boys, we still reason that way. We are not too much inclined. Part of what I can assure you, even us here, we could be victims, is your son could be talking to you. And he is talking to you. You are hearing, but you're not listening.
That's true.
He's talking. Unamsikia. It's just the same way you do to the mother. She's talking, you are hearing, but you're not listening. So you're not paying attention. So that's why akikuuliza na ile kitu nilikuwa nimekuambia uliamua aje, unamuuliza kitu gani? Because you never heard what, and that's the same thing we are doing to our boys. So the boy was beaten in school. He comes home telling you, but you had to see story. You want to watch the news. That's more important to you. You want to read the newspaper. Kuna story si kusoma kwa gazeti. I mean, and so the boy feels nobody cares about me. Nobody cares about my feelings. And so emotionally, he grows with a defect.
Pastor Wamae, maybe before you even continue, might that be the reason why they're on the streets? They are speaking, but you are not reasoning.
In fact, let me tell you, right now, in this nation, we are speaking at each other. Nobody is listening. Everyone is shouting. No one is listening from both sides of the divide. And there is no way you get a solution when there is no one who is listening. Somebody needs to tone down and listen and listen and listen and listen and listen from both sides of the divide. If listening doesn't happen, we are going nowhere.
Mr. Robert,
True.
are these people looking for attention?
Definitely yes. Definitely yes. And especially when the boy child is growing up, they need that attention. Especially at an age where they want to identify their identity. Who am I? How do I belong to this home? Or what am I supposed to be in this family? Mr. Pastor has said we have preference of taking care of the girl child faster than the boy, and that assumption, like you being a man or you're growing up to be a man, like you don't have to be hard. So we've emotionally crushed them. Most of the boy child are crushed emotionally. They cannot relate. They find it a bit not approachable to their father, or maybe the uncles who could be there in case of a single parent are not available, or maybe the response unto which they respond to the issues that they have are not in a conducive environment. You see, there's a way you can ask somebody something, then the tone of voice, body language, and even at what environment you tell the boy. So I think as we're saying here, it is a high time we listen to our people.
Wow.
A high time that we sat them down, create time. Because I know, as Pastor is trying to put it, we are so busy with everything else, but not for the child. We don't have time at home. It's either we are on news, we're trying to catch up, or we are even on phone, and we've not even tried to create some time, even take that boy child, ride with him in your car. Go to the car wash together, have lunch together, talk to him, listen to him. They have a lot of ideas that can even help you as their father from the way they look at things because of the knowledge that they have. But you find at times there's a bit of, I don't know whether neglect would be a bit tough a word to use, but we don't consider them so much. You ask yourself, how many times do you allow your boy to push a trolley in the supermarket and pick what you want?
Wow.
Not what you've written
Such
at home.
simple activities.
Very simple.
Responsibilities.
Very simple. I've spoken to people and I've seen them change through that. Because you find that, like, if it is a weekend, I want to take my wife with me and we go, you leave the children behind. So what they do, they get their teachings either from the internet or other social areas. But when you go with them, you agree that today we're going to do this, we're going to go swimming, we're going to have fun. In that swimming, the boy will even challenge you, Daddy, can you swim with me?
Wow.
And now he wants to train you how to swim. You interact, and he feels a belonging. That he suggests, like December, we are going to go to Nanyuki, and he tell him, get us a hotel plan, now you go, and he feels that I belong to this family. But when you walk and tell them, Park, we're going to Mombasa tomorrow, then he feels, I cannot have room even to air my suggestion. We feel like you shut them out. They feel they don't belong. They feel like they don't matter. And as you see, that's one of the reasons that there's too much pain that they are trying to release out to themselves.
There's a lot of energy.
Yes.
There's a lot of energy that they want, and they want it can be harmonized and utilized well, productively, and in a way that it benefits the society.
Exactly.
But when we just let it out there, and I feel like sometimes if they feel like if they do a certain thing, is the only time they'll get attention, they'll do it. There's a story that is given of a man who kept being ignored in the family, and he went and did a crazy thing. He was imprisoned, and all both parents now had to go and see him in prison and say that this, I've been trying to get your attention at home. You people are never there. You are busy. What happened to your job? Now that I'm in prison, you've had time. And there's a small things that we ignore. Maybe Pastor Wamae, as we go for a break. Now, what do we need to do different, even as parents? And maybe before you even come as a parent, as a church, what should we do? Because I feel it's not just the responsibility of the parent. Mr. Robert is saying you can take them when you are going out for meetings, when you are going out for shopping, and just involve them. But as a church, maybe in 2 minutes, what do you think the church should be, because these people are there?
I think the first thing is intentionality. We need to be intentional. We need to see there's a gap, and the parents, some of them, their mothers come to church, their fathers don't come. So, and maybe their fathers are not even there. So we need to be intentional about raising that boy child and creating a platform where they can express themselves, they can air their grievances, and they can be mentored and raised. We must be intentional about that. You know, as he is saying, Robert is saying, like you take your son and you walk him with him to the supermarket. You know when a boy is small, the father is the hero. I mean, they tease each other. Baba yangu anaweza piga baba yako.
Yes.
No boy believes his father can be beaten.
Yes.
The father is the
You
hero.
have a contest. Very
You know, but now when they get to teenage, the story changes. You know, because suddenly the father begins to feel now umekoma, so I have other important things to take care of. So there is a gap.
They drop the ball.
And that time is when the boy needs more answers on many things as he goes through that transition. And so that time, because the father is not there, and when the boy looks at how the father does things, he begins to see other ways of doing things differently. And at that point, a teenager believes my father is the most foolish man on earth. Until now, when he transits out of teenage and he begins to face, as we had out before the show, we are discussing, he begins to face the realities of life. And that's the time he begins to realize, na kuna kitu baba alikuwa anajua. You know, that reality begins to hit him. But now sometimes when that reality is hitting me, the father is so mad with him that there's a disconnect.
Wow, that's true.
He's not there to help the young man.
Because he feels that my dad doesn't understand me.
Yes.
He's just thinking, you know, he's just thinking like just an old man.
Yes.
He doesn't understand how that things have changed. I've received a lot of complaint from young men.
Yes.
See that my dad doesn't know that I've matured up.
Yes.
But the man who is saying he has matured up is because there was a gap. There is a place that the father dropped the ball.
Yes.
And by the time he's coming back, it's too late. The young man have learned to be dependent.
Yes.
He doesn't want to consult.
Yes.
And maybe before we go for a break, I want to acknowledge, thank you, Pastor Zipporah Kariuki. Love you, our chairman. Some love from our very good mom, Pastor Zipporah.
I appreciate
Thank you, Reverend Joe. Karibu Happy Church. Yeah, that's my home. Rock Peter, thank you, sir, Pastor. Yeah, thank you, Pastor Rock, all the way from Light City Chapel. Burdened and abandoned. You see that those are very strong words. You know, Mato Joro, hello Pastor Wamae, you are our inspiration. May God bless the work of your hands. Amen. Then we have the most reverend Patrick, the overseer himself. Reverend Patrick Joroge, all the way from Kenyatta Road, Dominion Center.
Yes.
God bless you, sir.
Amen.
Judah Wamae.
My son.
Yes. Interesting topic hapa. Then we have Reverend Patrick Joroge saying, watching from K Road. Wisdom is oozing here. More grace, Apostle Joe and your partner, Gotea, Pastor Wamae, and Robert Mwangi. Wow. Thank you. Martin Owila. Oh, this man is a rugby guy.
Wow.
And he's a great man. Tabitha Gadhoni, the counselor herself, God bless you. Kriya Chege, all the way from Gatundu. Nesh, the chairman. Life Church International, the Apostolic House, God bless you, sir, all the way from Thika. Then we have Monix Joro, and a nice topic. And all of you who are watching us tonight, thank you so much for just keep it man unveiled. We are here looking at how do we empower the boy child. How do we mentor them? How do we raise a responsible generation? It's alarming that the bodies that are being corrected, lying dead on the streets are for the boys. That tells you that even a policeman will be kind to a girl than to a man. A policeman will point a gun to a young man who have done nothing and release a bullet just because he is a man. Every man look like a suspect wherever he is. Nobody will treat you with grace or with favor wherever you go.
You are a suspect.
You are a suspect wherever you are. So it's also an advice to our young men. Please just know that you don't have a friend apart from Man Unveiled. In Man Unveiled you have a friend. We are going for a break kindly after this short break. Let every man know something great is happening right here on Elevate. Share this broadcast and let your family and friends tune in and be part of this conversation. See you in a minute.
Thank you.
Kenya, Are you ready? This July, all roads lead to Uhuru Park Gardens, Nairobi City, for the Standing Strong Conference 2025, happening July 17th to 19th from 9 a.m. daily. Here is how to register for free using your phone. Open your phone's camera or QR scanner application, hold it still over the QR code on this screen or in any of our adverts. Viewing on your phone? First, screenshot the code, then scan it from your gallery. Tap the link that pops up. Quickly fill in your details and tap submit. Scan now to register free. Standing Strong Conference 2025. Be there. Anytime, anywhere. Access inspiration that never switches off. Stuck in traffic? Elevate your mood and own the moment. Just looking busy? Make every second count. Tap into Kingdom content instead. One tap, instant power, real transformation. Download the Elevate TV app now. Exclusively on Google Play.
Yes, welcome back. This is Man Unveiled. We are right here at the city center, the Apostolic House, right at Kenya Cinema. There are some people who keep asking, where is this Elevate TV? We operate from the city center, and that's the beauty of being around. Very soon, possibly, you come and see what we are doing here. And we appreciate all your shout out and appreciation that you keep sending us, and the referrals you've been giving. By the virtue of this program, I've visited several men fellowship just to go and have fellowship with them. We appreciate that. In fact, I like it when I empower men. In fact, I've been in your place.
Yes.
I've been in your place. And there's so many other places that you'll come. If you feel that your men need empowerment, all these men here are available. We can come and empower those men. And especially if you are a pastor. I know you are good and you can empower them, but they say that the words of a stranger is like a cup of cold water to one in the desert. So it quenches all the thirst, and sometimes just a different view of the things that you have been talking to them. So we appreciate you and we thank God for you. Tonight we are looking at empowering or mentoring the boy child and how we can raise a responsible generation. I'm joined by Pastor Wamae all the way from RGC Gatundu Town, the Liberty Center, and Mr. Robert Mwangi all the way from Happy Church, the Dream Center, Roiro. We appreciate their contribution. We want to look at how practical can we work with our children. And Mr. Robert just explained to us how some of the things we can do. Maybe, Mr. Robert, because you've been there and God has graced you, and especially in the area of mentorship, we appreciate the work you have done, sir.
Thank you
and
so
the
much.
passion you have for mentorship. I have seen the way you've been able, the work you are doing even at Happy Church with the men fellowship.
Sure.
And I encourage, if you are a man and you stopped going to church and you are around the Thika Road, your side Roiro all the way to Kenyatta Road, if you are around there, this chairman, you need to come and talk to this chairman here because he knows, he understands some of the things you are going through, and I am sure he'll be able to work with you. Happy Church is a good place to be. In fact, I tell people, if you feel like you need to be happy, go to Happy Church. If you feel you need some redemption, go to redemption, to redeem the church. Yeah, you get. Yeah. And in case you need, if you feel you need life in you, you feel like life is going out of your life,
Come to Life Church.
come to Life Church. You know, everything that you need is out there. So there's no need of staying. And I'm speaking to many men who don't go to church. Many men who say that we left church, not God. It's time to go back to the fellowship. There is power in that fellowship. Bwana Robert.
Yes.
You're a father of a son.
Yes.
Maybe one or two.
One son, two girls.
One son, two girls.
Yes.
Just like me. How intentional were you when this young man was growing up? Because I know right now he's not in the house.
No, he's not.
How has the journey been?
I would say like any other old parent, when we began, it was not very smooth. You know, things had to be done my way.
Yes.
But over time, in fact, my son schooled at Jamhuri High School.
Okay.
Jamhuri High School at his time used to be at war with highway.
Okay.
So anytime you're in town, you're either from Jamhuri or you're from highway, it is at your own risk.
There must be a war.
You must be safe. And many a times they could meet in town, the boys could fight, the police could be called. And many a times I could drop him, at times he says, no, I'll find my way home. So one time he came home and was beaten up by the police. Not that because he was in the wrong, but because he was found. There was the fighting of those boys.
He was in the scene of crime.
Exactly, because it was a routine. They get this way, they get this way. So he grew up in town, and over time, I noticed that my son was very, very technical. There was no CBC then.
Yes.
So to us, we wanted grades. This young man could open up a remote, dismantle, and reassemble. He could do TV, the same thing. And because I wanted us to sleep early, no TV at this time, he could watch a movie, and he has connected the TV somehow, and he has headphones somewhere. So he could do, once you guys are sleeping, the TV's on, and he's on his movie. Until I realized there's sort of a cable under the carpet. Hey, this boy is very intelligent.
Wow.
And we really tried to bring him. So we took him to a college. He did very well, and he started now some sort of dialoguing. Those are the times you had my first car. Can you drive? You could ask him, can I take it to the car wash from one end to the end? And he started growing. He could go like 2 kilometers on himself. And he developed that. Now the technical part of it started coming out.
Yes.
And we started now reasoning together. We could go to the garage together. I took him swimming, although I was not the one swimming. We started now talking, okay, step by step. Not that it was that so easy, but now we had to accommodate because things are changing.
Yeah.
But we had dialogue, and we could speak. At times, like you could ask him about sex life and all these things. At times he says, when I grow up, I don't want to beat my wife. Those things. But the good thing is that they brought in a sense of like now, not too much of a father dictator or father who is so strict, a military sort, but a father now who can also be approached.
Wow.
So we could share. At times they dress me up, many a times with my daughter. So there are so many things now that we're able to do together. We discuss projects. We grew up doing how much I earn, how much is being spent, how much you're able to bless them. And until the time now he's able to get his family, he can even confess. I wish he was, I'm not sure whether he's online, that he's really been taught a lot.
Wow.
Not that I am the best parent,
but you have done what?
Because I try, whatever I try to tell other people to do to their families, I ask myself, have I done this at home? If I'm telling you to walk with your son to the supermarket, do I walk with my son to the supermarket? Do I ask him to go with me to the garage? Do I ask him to go with me even for an event? You've seen me come with my daughter and my wife to the show. When you have other events, I take them. Because, okay, I could be the one invited, but also they have a feeling of that belonging.
Being part
of it, and also not to be left too much behind, and that they are hearing of things. So today, when I have, because I'm in business, there are sometimes I can send him, go and run the business for me, like 1 week, 3 days, and things are going to go right. Because I involved him from an age that we had a bit of good time to dialogue together. So I encourage the parents. Many a times, let us not be too strict.
Yes.
Okay, there's somebody who says that there's a time that we have gone a bit too soft. But you can go too soft and bring your son to you, talk to him, guide him. It's even biblical. Joshua was with Moses all this time and was able to learn some of these things. Many of the ministers and the prophets we have in the Bible, Elisha and Elijah, they work
there was
together.
that mentorship, yes.
There's that mentorship that you see there's like a disconnect somewhere. And this is why you find that we have a boy child who is in pain and a bit frustrated.
Yes.
And unless we capture that now,
Yes.
it may go out overboard.
Wow.
And this is why they're able to connect so quickly and identify the painful and the frustrated team,
Yes.
and they can go to the streets easily and do things that are not even right.
Wow.
So let us go back, listen to them. It's never too late.
Yes.
Give them an audience. Once in a while I call them, all of them. Either we go home. There's one time I called them quickly. I want to meet you tomorrow. We're going to do our dinner at Naivasha. All of them as a family. And you talk.
Wow.
And you share all these things, not for anything, but you bring them together.
Wow.
Because at times you can get too busy and ignore those basic things.
And lose the most important
exactly,
things.
the family. Yes.
Maybe as we come back to you, Pastor Wamae, what is the place of allowing this young man make mistakes in the process? Because sometimes we withhold responsibilities because we fear that they will make blunders.
Yeah, but
How are you dealing with Judah?
Judah.
Yes.
Judah is my friend, first of all. The guy is my friend.
Yes.
I mean, we talk about anything with Judah. And I think I learned that from my dad.
Yes.
I have a wonderful father.
Wow.
May the Lord bless Mr. Nyoro. He's just an amazing man. And when we were growing up, when we were small, he really used to beat us. He instilled discipline in us, like, what is this?
Yes.
But then after that...
Like lack of importance. That's what he used to say.
But then somewhere down the line, he started working outside the country, and
Yeah.
so we couldn't, when we were teenagers. But then when we came back, there was some disconnect. Again, the disciplining, we got back online.
Wow.
But my dad will talk, even today. We'll talk for 2 hours with my dad. We have conversations.
Wow.
There's a time we sit down and talk as men, not as father-son.
Yes.
Like men.
Wow.
Yeah, because now I'm not a young man anymore.
Yes, yes.
So we have issues that face men. So we talk about those issues with my dad.
Wow.
And you know, I've learned that from him. So we'll talk with Judah every day. Even today we've spoken severally. We'll talk about issues, about what's happening, ulienda tao, nini, you know, day-to-day issues, daddy mbona hii. He would ask questions, I would tell him my view, and ananiambia, hey, lakini hapo sioni. Naambia, but hiyo ni opinion yangu, wewe unafikiriaje? Like we'll talk.
Yeah.
As he's saying, listening. Robert is, you know, that word listening has really come from the beginning. There's just a very great need for people to pay attention. Now, unfortunately, as you have rightly asked, as men, you know, in nations like China or India, even here we've seen, men begin mentoring their sons from when they are born. They are groomed to come and take over their father's business.
Wow.
So they know what the father does. They know how he banks his money if he banks. They know how the profits come. They know how much money has come in. They know how the books are. I mean, they know the business from when they are growing, from when they're in school. Sisi hapa wa Africa, my friends.
We live with our children like suspects.
Live with our children like suspects.
Yes.
You keep them off.
Yeah.
So that now, even when they have grown up, you have no space for them. And when they try to get near you, I mean, the disconnect is so big. For them to catch up is such a difficult thing. And you fear that when they take it over, they will bring it down. Sometimes becomes a reality.
Yeah, because you have not mentored them.
You've not mentored them. You know, this nation as a family, the family of Philip Ndegwa, you know, that's a family. Their father, when the father passed on, the sons took over. The business increased.
There's no gap.
There's no gap. But here we have, in China, you have parents leaving their teenagers to run their businesses. They are taking over. They are running. So you have a young man who is actually handling millions of money.
Yeah.
Millions of shillings of yuan, you know, because the father has given him the space. They want them to make mistakes because that is how you run.
Yeah.
Mistakes, you know, John Maxwell wrote a book called Failing Forward. It is when you fail that you learn what does not work.
Yeah.
This guy who discovered the light bulb, he failed so many times before he discovered actually what could work. Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
He tried to become the president of the United
Yeah,
States
yeah.
for so many times,
Yeah.
from the lowest political position.
Yeah.
And he failed in all of them
Yeah.
until when he attempted to become president. He succeeded.
Yeah, yeah. Wow.
Why are we fearing to fail?
Wow.
Failing is a good way to learn.
Yeah.
Let someone fail. I am a product of many failures, that
Wow.
are many mistakes that I've done. Rather, I've done many mistakes. I am a product of many mistakes. That's what I'm just trying to say. And so let our sons learn. I have taught my son, like he has said, I started training him to drive long time ago. When I'm not driving on tarmac,
Yeah.
would go with him. I would allow him to drive me. Naona vile ananipeleka ambia correct here. Then would go sometimes. When now he got his license, we on the road telling don't do that. And you know, sometimes the mother would think no, don't give him. But I'm like, no, let the guy learn. And he would learn. Sometimes make mistakes. One mistake here, two mistakes there. But the guy is learning. Today when we're with him, I don't drive.
Wow.
Someone who drives me all over. Because now the guy has mastered it.
Wow. Wow.
So let's allow the space to make mistakes. In fact, I would also say, even when we have like a disagreement, even with our spouses,
Yes.
sometimes you don't hide it. Sometimes let that disagreement be exposed to them, so that when they get married, they don't.
They will
think
know
that-
how to handle.
They will know,
Yes.
and then you tell them, "Unajua, maybe your mother thought this, but I thought this, and I think I was wrong. She was right, or I think she was wrong. I was right." You know, let them learn
Yeah.
from these things. We are not perfect.
Yeah.
So sometimes you cover too much and you do not want them to learn. And
We
I'm wanting-
deny them an opportunity to
Exactly.
to learn.
So let's expose them. In fact, Apostle,
Yes.
do you know that your son will celebrate you when he understands your struggles?
Oh yes.
Yeah. He would want to help you in those struggles that you're having. And as he has said, our sons have many things they can teach us. You know, one teenager told his father, "Dad, I think we have a few things to learn." And so the father thought the son feels like he wants to learn a few things from the father. So when they had a meeting, so they sat down and the father asked the son, "So what is it that you want to learn?" No, he told the father, "No, I think it's you who has some things you need to learn." And you know, when they began discussing, the father actually realized, and they realized actually there are some things this boy is saying that I was ignoring. And it's actually the challenge we are having even in our nation today. Because we have a generation that is up there that they believe they have everything figured out.
Yeah.
But reality is hitting us that actually we don't have everything figured out. We need to listen to these young people and know what they are saying and learn what they are from them, maybe better ways of doing things than the traditional ways that we are used to.
Yeah. You know, someone say that if you are too big to be taught, then you are
Yes.
too small to teach.
Exactly.
And sometimes the picture the image we try to portray to our sons, we think we are making them, but we are destroying them. When you try to show them the perfect kind of you, they will never forgive themselves when they make a mistake. So what you're saying is that let's expose them.
Yes.
Even to some of the things that don't work. I'm surprised that we can go to the supermarket sometimes and my son looks at me and suspects I don't have money. So he will not pick anything. I'll ask him, what do you want? And you know, as a father, you want to put on the brave face. Chukwani. You see?
Yeah.
And when my daughter has a way of going to a place, I don't know how, but she loves expensive things. She's headed to a place that I see this thing. This thing will demolish all my pockets.
Yes.
And I start crying, Kimoyo moyo, Eloi, Eloi. You know, because you feel that. But my son will even tell my daughter, wewe si lazima uchukue hizi vitu. Si jana uliletewa. And I feel, wow. The man knows that sometimes the father is not.
Yeah.
The father's pockets are not doing well.
Yes.
The heart is willing, but the pocket is weak.
But also I think the other thing I train my children is that
Yes.
also ask, like, can we take this?
Yes.
Can I have this?
Yeah.
You know, because like when you go to the supermarket, like now my daughter when she's going back to school, do you have your list? Yes. Please push the trolley. But pick necessary items.
Yes.
You know, like you don't carry perfume to school. You have it at home. At least they learn to pick according to your
The need.
lifestyle
Yes.
or the room you've given them. Because I don't think your daughter will walk in or my son walk in and say, you want to change the TV from the normal 42 to another 100. No, one day. No. There are projects you discuss.
Yes.
There are things that, like, you're going to the supermarket that today we want to do chicken and you want to do this. So let the discussion be between Ken Chick and the other
brand, yes.
you know, but not that you go now pick because the dad has said you can pick anything. You know, at times also could put you in a fix, like you're saying. Maybe you have a particular budget, and that is the way of the involvement we're talking about. We allow them, let them make a decision. Let them suggest to dad, if it has been long, you've not taken soup, so we can buy you some bone soup. But it was not in you because you want to feed them and you feel I've done the man's responsibility. But also even looking at ourselves, if we allow them to manage us, some of the things like you're saying, they're going to be of help.
Wow.
Like, okay, maybe to say, even participation, like you said, the Indians and all this. You feel like in my family, anybody can access my M-Pesa. But they have the discipline, nobody is going to transfer money without your consent. So pay for fuel, pay for market, pay for this. You know, that room that you don't leave a vacuum, not that you're going to go away, but just in case there's a need that arises.
You are just around. You're not far away from the scene.
Yeah, but at least you can do something, and at least they feel that daddy is not a problem. If we want money, we can request him, and I don't give money for non-important.
Yes.
You cannot buy shoes every Sunday. No. You know.
There are boundaries.
There are boundaries also.
They know.
Yeah, and even train them like us who are in church. Even give their offerings and even give their tithes. Because you're putting some discipline in them. Because they see you give, your tithing, they see you go to church, they see you pray, they see you read the word of God. You know, we also show them this is the right way to the thing to do. And as the Bible tells us, once they grow up,
they will never
depart from this.
Wow, some important things, before you hear it from Pastor Wamae, some important things I'm capturing here that I know it will be of help to our viewer. We are saying that it's good as a parent and as a father, if you are watching us tonight, and I know this is a family show, maybe you have your family there, it's good for your children to know what you do. Men, listen to me. Don't live like a suspect in your house. When your children are asked what their father do, all they say in school is, Baba yangu anafanyanga kazi balibali. You know, they don't know what kazi balibali is, because you leave the house in the morning and come in the evening like a ninja. Nobody even notices you are there. You appear and disappear unceremoniously. We as parents, we need to teach, we need to mentor our children, we need to show them what we do, and somehow we need also to give them a chance to love what we do, because that's the only way possibly. I tell people, if you are doing a certain business and you have built an empire, there is no way God, with his graciousness and with his mercy and his love, will deny you a child who will not like what you like.
Sure.
And don't force children to like what you like. Don't force the child that is named after your father like what you like. It might be, maybe with our naming of children, that who is named after your mother, or you are that who is named after possibly your wife's father is the one who will take over the business, and is still within the family. So we should not force. Something else that I have also done is paying attention. That's what you have said. Someone said, Pastor Wamae, that even the poorest man in the world can pay attention.
Yes.
You can listen. You don't need to have money to listen to your child. You can listen to them. We keep this conversation going. Allow me to just read some messages. Gideon Kamoth, thank you, Pastor Gideon, all the way from Highway. Thank you, sir, for watching. Clear Chege, thank you. My Pastor Wamae watching. Thank you, Nesh. Thank you, Livingstone. Love Paul, all the way from Thika Town. As we mentor boy child, it's right to let them understand it's okay not to be okay. That's very true. I agree. And a blessing to, let me just sample some few other messages here. Love Paul. Kelly to Kamweyai, thank you, great topic. Livingstone Otek, God bless you. And all those who are watching us. As we come to the close, maybe Pastor Wamae, which way, boy child? Which way, boy child? I want us to look at the things that we need to do, even as fathers, because we are fathers of these children. You are a father to many sons. You are a father to many sons in church and even in the family. You are a father figure. and you understand that there are gaps even to some children who are born in families and they don't have a father figure. How do we intentionally get into the lives of these young ones and just show them the way and help them out?
Okay.
Yeah.
One of the things that I think we can do that is that we need to be intentional, as I had said, in developing activities that we can do together.
Yes.
Activities we can do together. If you are a lover of football, organize a match.
Wow.
I mean, go and, it helps people to open up. And they're going to vent and you know talk about issues that are bedeviling them. So activities are important. Like the last time I was here on the show, said our men were going for an outing somewhere in a certain hotel. The same thing we can do even with these young men. Just have organize something, take them out, let them go somewhere and eat nyama choma.
Wow.
You know, and just have a talk. If you're impromptu,
They say that men gather around food.
yes, impromptu too. Just talk. Talk about issues. I mean, and be real with them.
Yes.
So that way they are going to open up. And as you do those activities, you're going to understand exactly what their issues are.
Wow.
Number two is you need to be intentional about mentoring them.
Wow.
Like when you learn, now then begin to address those issues. Sometimes you can pick them at a personal level. Some of them you can address them, you know, because sometimes you can pick someone is not just talking.
Yes.
They are talking out of pain. That
They are venting.
Yes, they are venting. Sorry, excuse me. So find out what you're able to address, you know, to them as a group, but also what you're able to do one-on-one with them. Have that time to discuss, you know, like to talk, let them express themselves and their pains and struggles.
Yeah.
Number three is I think we need to learn to be patient.
Wow. We be patient with them.
Be patient with them because sometimes we want instant change. And I can tell you, the boy child is not like the girl child.
Yeah.
Boys adapt slowly, but once they adapt, that's it.
They are firm.
They are firm. So give them the space to adapt,
Wow.
to adapt. When they make a mistake, don't make it a big issue. Encourage them rather than condemn them.
Wow.
So walk with them. Be willing to walk with them. I have a pastor friend of mine. One day I visited his church and I saw someone who was there. They had tattoos and all that, and they were being given responsibilities in church. And to me, they look weird. But the guy told me.
Only the pastor understands the journey.
Yes, the pastor told me for this person to be here, the kind of a distance I've walked with them is far. They have been addicted to drugs and drunkenness and no manner of things. And when we were beginning, I actually bought some beer for them so that they can be able to,
That is dangerous.
withdrawal.
Pastor, don't try that at home.
Do the withdrawals,
Yes.
so that deal with the withdrawals
Yes.
as they work with them. And today they are delivered out of it. But now we have no patience. We want to see them transform now.
Yes.
But we do not want to be patient, so that as they change, gradually we are working with them.
Wow. The father of the prodigal son was patient.
Yes.
Patience is the fruit of the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
Bwana Robert, maybe your closing remarks and the way forward in a minute.
Maybe in one sentence, it is time we go back to the basics of parenting.
Yes.
Our children must know that every right comes with a responsibility.
Wow, powerful.
So it is us now.
Yes.
We've seen there is danger. Can we arrest the situation before it goes out of hand? Yes.
Maybe where can we find the chairman and possibly you might start having visitors at this.
Let them come. I'm always at church, Happy Church, Riru, the Dream Center, where you say where everybody is able to dream and their dream comes true. I am available also on phone and social media.
Maybe you can share your number.
Yes, we could. For those who would want to reach me, my number is 0722 989692. I say that again, 0722 989692. I'm willing to reach out. We can share, we can talk. And I know God is able to make a way.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Pastor Wamae, would you share your number maybe?
Yeah. I'm available. You can visit me at Redeemed Gospel Church or in Gatundu and also in Ruru. My number is 0720 327 648. Once again, 0720 327 648. I'm available to share and help wherever I'm needed to give my services. God bless you.
Wow, thank you so much. I want to acknowledge those who are on YouTube. Kamau Macharia, God bless you. James Kemani. Wow, James Kemani, all the way from Thika Greens. God bless you, my brother. I know you are watching together with your wife. Monica, thank you so much. Missionary, thank you so much. Kagushia Thuku. Joy Spring Products, thank you so much. Abe Wairimo. Laya Isio ya Kawaida. Modoni Nyoro, Susan Wanjiko. Thank you all of us for watching and being part of Man Unveiled community. It's always a blessing having you. And all those who are on Facebook and on TV, we can't forget that you are live on TV. God bless you. Possibly I've not read your messages on phone, but as always, keep it Man Unveiled, and just know that this is where men are built. This is where men are constructed. Encourage your man to always watch this show, and encourage your brothers and your young men in the house to always keep it Man Unveiled. I want to appreciate your support and the love that you have shown Man Unveiled. Let us continue making Man Unveiled your every Wednesday evening show. God bless you and good night. See you next Wednesday. God bless.
Thank you.